Konnichiwa, Kelly. This is your dad. You are still in the womb, and your mom and I are really hoping that you're upside down by now. I thought that you would be out 6 to 7 weeks from the last video, but I was wrong. Counting is apparently not my strong suit, so hopefully your mom is going to be helping you with the math homework. I know that in the last vid we said we would talk about pushing beliefs today, but instead I want to talk about adult sharing. I know you're probably wondering, what is adult sharing? Is it different than regular sharing? And if it is different, how so? So to quickly answer your question, it is different. When you're a kid, you should share your toys and other things with your friends because it's a nice thing to do. Sharing is caring. But when you get older, sharing ceases to be caring. Sharing is no longer caring. So let me go into detail about that. When I say adult sharing, I'm talking about when you have movies or games or trading cards or books autographed by their authors. And let me temporarily pause to point out that my list got super nerdy as it went on. You'll probably have more of the former, movies and games, rather than the latter, trading cards and books autographed by their authors. But anyway, sharing those things is somewhat expected as an adult. Because, hey, we're all adults here. It isn't like the person you lend it to is going to ruin the items. I mean, they're your friends, and they'll totally treat your items as if they were their own. Right? Wrong. People will borrow your stuff, and then if they return it, it will probably be in shambles. Case in point, your Uncle Harlan is the best man at my wedding. I love him with all my heart. He's been my friend since I was in 1st grade, and he borrowed Entourage Season 1 from me about 3 years ago. 3 years ago. I have not seen it, and I'll probably never see it again. Now, I'm okay with the loss because it was Entourage, and the show's pretty much mediocre past the 1st season, with the exception of Jeremy Piven's character Ari Gold. But it's nowhere near as devastating as, I don't know, when your mom lent out Spartacus Season 1 and 2 to our friends. Gone, disappeared, thanks mom. So my advice is, if you absolutely must lend something out to someone because you're like me and you're too concerned that your base is going to get banged up, or your autographed World War Z book that's signed by Max Brooks is going to have the cover ripped a little, just loan out stuff you don't care about. I actually bought a backup World War Z book for that exact purpose. But seriously, if somebody asks to borrow my 5-string Music Man, I just offer them a kazoo. It's basically the same thing, right? If someone wants to spend some time testing out your DSLR camera because they want to see if it's the right model for them, hand them a disposable camera. They'll never know the difference. Or distract them with cake. Adults love cake. Sometimes I make up excuses like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't borrow my Modern Warfare 2 branded night vision goggles because I might need them in the event of an emergency. Always be prepared. If you're a nerd like your dad, chances are that you're going to have less cool stuff than practical people will want to borrow. But there is a much higher likelihood that you will have nerdier friends, and as a result, you'll be loaning out your lucky 20-sided die that you'll never see again. Which is why you need a second set that you don't care about. I'm only kidding. Kind of. Look, adult sharing sucks, but you're gonna have to do it. The point is that you need to loan out the things that you're not gonna miss the most if they get damaged. And then also think about who you're loaning it out to. I loaned my base out a couple times when I was, I never did. I can't. But your dad has an affliction. You may not have that, and I really hope you don't, because I am a poor sharer. As a child, I was great at it. Not so much as an adult. Now, maybe next time we'll talk about pushing beliefs, but until then, I love you, and I recently put together your crib, so you are very welcome. Unless it falls apart while you're in it, in which case I am very, very sorry, and your mom is really mad at me. Anyway, I'll talk to you next time. Love, Dad.